Okay, good morning, everybody. And today I'm going to be the person here on the call. Some of you say, oh, some of you say, oh, what? Eh, okay, today I'm going to talk about something that it was a question that was asked to me, geez, so many years ago, 20 something years ago, and it stuck with me. And interesting that that question was a prospecting question, but was asked in a meeting that we were having years ago. And I think I was in Florida still. And this was what a very, very well known at the time trainer, network marketer trainer. And it was a question that I started using with prospects. He was using with prospects, and is so powerful that also you can use it with yourself. I'm going to put the slides because this is, I call it the dreams approach. Let me share the screen. Hold on a second. All right. Okay. It's called the dream approach. And let me tell you how this came about. I was in a meeting and they were telling us about setting up goals. This was a training meeting. And one of the things that they said when they asked that question, at first, when they asked it, I was super excited. When everybody in the room was taking notes and saying things, etc. Then, kind of halfway of the question, suddenly we feel depressed, and then we got excited again. And this is actually used in psychology, and it's actually NLP use that this question a lot. And the way that they use the reason they use this question is because it's to make us aware of where we are now on things that we have to change. It's an amazing thing, that question that I ask to people many times. You can do it with a person that you just met. You can do it online. You can meet it with family members, somebody that you know since you were a little kid. And the reason it's so powerful is because it's a great way to open the door for the business. You can do it also with other products, etc. But I love it for the business because it's dreams. It's talking about dreams. What are your dreams? And here, the other question. It's actually a series of questions, and you have seen this before, probably. As a matter of fact, it's in one of the PDFs that I upload. But I wanted to focus just on this because when you start using it, and something that I said before, the best way to learn something is to use it right away. Right away. You could use it wherever you want, one-on-one, etc. But this is a powerful question. And imagine that I am asking you that question. Now, this script is effective in almost every situation. Doesn't matter if it's in person, Facebook, texting, health market, etc. War market, etc. It's really, really powerful. And it's used also in some therapies of in psychology. And some of you that you have been with me for years, I use this a lot. Okay. Now, this is a great way to introduce the business in a very simple way, because most of the time at the end of the question, people are more open to find more about us. That doesn't mean that they're going to join or anything like that, but they are more open to receive information. And these are, the first one is, and you heard this from me, if time and money were no issues, an issue, and you have the energy to enjoy them, what would you do? Now let's analyze this. If time and money were no issues and you have all the energy to enjoy them, the money and the time, what would you do? Uh, See, this is a regular question that you can be doing with a friend. If time and money were no issue, and you have all the energy to enjoy it, what would you do? Sometimes you have to help the people, no? By the way, I had 2024. I had to change that. It's so important that you help, because some people don't know really. When you ask, they say, "Oh, I don't know what I would do." But some people start saying, "Gosh, I would love to have a new car, travel, etc." And it's good that you can help them. For example, what would you buy? For example, Where will you live? Who you will help? What else? Think about that. Imagine that asking that question to you. If you have all the money all the time, you don't have any issues there, and you have the energy to enjoy it. The reason I ask all that is because if you think, you see, it's involved in what we offer. But also, this can use in so many other situations. And by the way, I like the people to answer, and I get them inside excited. And imagine you are answering all this. You say, "Oh wow, I don't know. I would buy real estate. I would travel all over the world. I would help people." And some people get so excited that they stop talking. Other people, they don't know really. And that's why you help and say, "Well, where will you live? And what will you buy? Will you go on vacation?" Just and people are super excited telling you. And but then is the next question. And by the way, this applies to all of us. Time and money is not a problem. You have all the energy to enjoy them. What would you do? To all of us. And of course, I was in that training. I was super excited listening to this. And I said, geez, wow, this, yeah, I would go this, I would do that. But then the next one is doing what you're doing now. How long will it take you to do it? And by the way, this applies also to the business right now. We are building the business right now. And are we doing enough to reach our dreams and goals? Doing what you're doing now, how long will it take you to do it? Are you doing the actions, or you have a plan? This is when you're talking to people that most people don't have a plan. And when you say, doing what you're doing now, how long will it take you to do it? And just quiet. What do you think? Anybody wants to post, or what do you think would be the answer? The most people that has. They say, don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Of years, or I don't have a plan. And then I like to say something else. How does that make you feel? That's what a psychology will tell you. How does that make you feel? Well, some people feel, and that's what I say. You are super excited. It's like a roller coaster. You go up, 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 up. You are super excited, telling you all what you can do. But then you see, when you say doing what you're doing now, how long will it take you to do it? And then you add, how does that make you feel? Holy cow. You don't feel too good at the moment. You want to leave the room. When I was writing that, I was doing network marketing. Still, I didn't have a plan. And I said, holy shiz. Of course, I didn't say shiz. I had to make some changes. But what do I do? You see, how that make you feel? And I asked the question many times, and I have done meetings. And a couple of people that are here on the call, they were probably, I think they were in that meeting. When I asked that question, there were a couple of people in the room that were crying in one of those meetings because gee, I don't know what to do. They felt lost. They felt, I can't. But you cannot leave this here, because then people are going to leave, and then they are going to leave under a bridge or something like that. You have to make sure you continue. If you could find a way to make more money, have more time, plus have more energy to enjoy them, will you be open to learn more? More money, more time, plus more energy to enjoy them. Will you be open to learn more? The reason this is so powerful is because at this moment, most people are going to say, yeah, what do you have? What can you tell me? Now, this is not a question to ask and then right away go into talking about the business, etc. I'm going to show you what I'm going to see, what I do. But this is so powerful, because then it's like somebody, you are in the dark, and then somebody turn on a light. You say, wow, there's a light. Or the famous saying, there's a light at the end of the tunnel when you're walking in a dark tunnel and then you see a little light at the end. Or in a room, you are working for something dark and you see a little light, or you're in the dark in the middle of nowhere and then you see a light. This is the same. You see a light and say, whoa. And the reason of this question again is for people to be aware where they are now. It's why I asked the first question, because everybody has dreams, or they had dreams at one point. The challenge is that we shrink our dreams to the size of our checkbook, and then we forget about them. Now, here, what we are going to do in our business is to expand those dreams, the checkbook to the size of your dreams. Now, as you see how powerful this question. Now, I know some people are nervous sometimes about asking this question because they say, gee, what if I get emotional, or he or she get emotional? Well, the purpose is to make sure that people be aware of, if they have dreams, what can they do? They have a plan B, they have a plan A or plan C or whatever you want to call it. It's the technique, I think the psychologists call the build, slam, build, because they slam you and then they build you again. Okay, let me turn it off here a second. When you ask, do you be open more? And that's when you said, if I can show you a video, if I can invite you to a presentation, if I can, and that's you have heard those a lot because we use it. If I can show a video that show you how to have more energy, more time, more money, obviously, will you be open? If I can invite you to a Zoom where you can have more, where you can learn more to have more money, more time, and more energy, will you be open? You see the cool thing that we are combining here, the business and the health at the same time, because the energy obviously is good health. It's good to be in shape. And think about again that's the basic question. The basic question is, again, let me go back to the questions. Very simple. If you have all the time and all the money, and you have the energy to enjoy it, what would you do? Where would you go? What would you buy? Who would you help? By the way, many times you don't have to ask the question because people get excited. Like I said, consistent talking. Doing what you are doing now, how long will it take you? And just wait. You are going to see that the body language of the person, the shoulders go down, or they're thinking, or some people may have a plan, but you rarely find that. And when you, how that make you feel? Again, it's so powerful. If I can show you a way where you can make more money, have more time, and have the energy to enjoy all of this, you would like to know more. If I can invite you to a presentation, if I can invite you to a video, if I can introduce you to somebody that's teaching me, because you can do a three-way call. If I can introduce you to so-and-so, will you be open? I just wanted to touch on this question, and because it's so important. And like I said before, when you start using what you learn right away, become part of you. But it's so important. This is a simple way to connect with people. I know, again, some people are nervous to use it because say, I think I've been invasive. And by the way, that question we ask ourselves, doing the business the way that we are doing now, how long will it take us to reach our goals? Right now, we are getting close to, like I said, convention. And this convention, each convention always have a reason. When we go, I was in the company before. I went to at least 15 annual conventions. Plus, I went to the New Year conventions, etc. And always I got excited there because there was something new. Maybe the format was the same, because sometimes the master of ceremony probably was the same, etc. But there always new things that I was learning there. I was getting excited. meeting people, etc. And many times that convention has a purpose. Well, this convention, we are getting close to, in the 2 weeks, to a convention that is the door opening to what is going to be a big, fast growth, because we are going to start going into momentum. I don't say that we are going into momentum right away. We open the door and we go in momentum. There are some countries that are going in momentum already here in Asia. The US, we are starting to get the base to be there. By the way, we the team that you see here, we are the fastest growing right now in the US and Canada. But that convention is going to be there. And let me go back to the question: all the dreams that you have, all the things that you have, etc. There, you are going to find ways to not only. We already know that tree is going to help us in our health, in our business, and making more money, having more time. But if we don't go to those events, if we are not part of the different events that we do, because this is an event in the morning, the different activities, etc., we are going to be always saying, holy cow, if I don't do what I'm doing, where I'm going to be? I don't have a plan B. And you don't want to imagine, how would you feel and I'm going back again, you don't connect, or your team doesn't connect with the events? How do they feel not having the bridge to be able to have that key to have more time, to have more money, and to have more energy? It's why we had to connect, to maintain connected, because as a team, we can work together to reach goals. As a team, we don't want to leave anybody behind. There's somebody used to say in the company I was before, friends don't let friends to go poor. I remember. That's why I have to talk to everybody. And if they don't want to join, well, if they don't want to do the activities, it's their choice, but I don't want them to. You cannot force somebody, but you can say, hey, at least get a position right now. Be on the tree, start using the products, little things. You can call a few months later, oh, by the way, you have like 50 or 100 people under you. I'm giving you the opportunity. Some people never is going to take it. By the way, that's the core of this pay plan. If you are in another pay plan where you're building wide, you can tell somebody to sign up, but he or she never is going to see anybody coming under them. You're not going to have that tool that is having people coming under. And that's a tool that when they start seeing people coming in and it say, hey, you have not talked to anybody, and look, you have people under you, coming under you. It doesn't have to be thousands of people. It could be 10 people or 5 people. And you say people, hey, you are not even done the business, and look, you have already 5 people under you. Really? What that means? Oh, that you could be making money. But again, it's why I love to ask this question. And I would like to repeat it many times because people forget. I have the same question to the same person a few times. And the second time they forgot I asked it the first time. Now, by the third time, they realize, geez, you asked me this before. Well, what are you doing? What is your plan B? Let's do this together. Let's work this together. Because that, by the way, that's a very important phrase that I like to use. Many times we are talking to people say, oh, you can make a lot of money in this business. That sounds too salesy. But when you say, we are going to make together a lot of money in this business, it sounds way much more stronger. Let's do this together. And you know, when about the dreams too, when people tell me all these dreams, I said, you can tell your dreams. Let me tell you, these are my dreams. I want to also travel, like you said. I want to do this and that. Let's do this together. We are the 2 of us right now, or the 4 of us, or the 3 of us, or whatever. Let's work this together. Let me introduce you to somebody I'm working with. Let me introduce you to a team that's doing that together. Let me, if I introduce you to that team, are you open? And when you are talking to somebody like that, and you're taking it from her, not from the script, Yeah, I know. You took notes, you wrote it down, etc. And you have to say it from your heart, because if you are talking, reading it as a script, and I'm reading, if time and money were not a challenge, and you have all the energy. Oh, hold on a second. If you have all the energy to enjoy it, what would you do? And the person's looking at this like, what, this is like a survey or something like that. Well, I would do this and this and that. Okay, doing what you're doing now, how long will it take you? Oh, yeah, that's why I say here. How long will it take you? Uh, and, and people, of course, they start thinking, what? How that make you feel? The other person may say, where is he gone? But it's why you have to say it from your heart. This is, of course, you can use it as a guide, but the more you said, and use your own words. You don't have to use exactly those words, but use those elements. If time and money were not a challenge, and you have all the energy to enjoy it, all the energy. Remember, you want to have energy. You don't want to have time and money. But many people have the time and money, but they don't have the energy to enjoy it. They don't have time. They don't have, peace. And they don't have health. Many people have the time, the money, excuse me, but they don't have the time. And that's happened to a lot of people, that they have good salaries. They work for corporate America, but they are making, let's suppose, 200,000 a year, but they are living on a level of $200,000 a year or more. They have to keep working. They don't have the time. They don't have the time. They don't have the time. And then it's why I love this question. I love this question. Anybody has a comment, or a comment, or anything you want to say?
Oh, I thought that was really good, George.
Hi, Christine.
All of your scripts and things, but it is true. I don't always say the perfect script every time. It just kind of comes from the heart. I know the general feeling. These scripts are really to kind of give you a structure
Mhm.
of content for you to then say, oh, I can use in that, instead of not knowing even where to begin. But always be authentic. Uh, and then, they don't know what you're supposed to know, and they don't know there's supposed to be a certain thing, but you don't want to be reading blah, 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 like George says, because then they go, is this scripted? No, just be authentic and have fun with the business
Mhm.
and casting the big picture. I
Yeah.
love what you said there when you said, let's make money. Let's go ahead and make a lot of money together. That kind of brings people in, that we're going to work together as a team. They feel better. Like, oh, we're going to work together as a team. They don't feel like they're alone. That's a really good comment, George. Really good.
Thank you. And something that's important, when you are going to introduce the person to a tool like a video or a live presentation or a Zoom, you say, if I can introduce to a person that's working with me and would be working with us, will you be open? And now the person, because you went through those questions, they are going to say, what do you have? Can you tell me more? Let's connect you. Let me connect you with these people. Let me connect with them. Let me connect with our team. Let me connect with our leader. Let me connect with our coach, whatever you want to call. Don't say upline, by the way, because if the person that has never done it in network marketing, let me connect you with my upline, and the person's thinking, what the heck is upline? Is somebody that lives upstairs or somebody? They don't get it. And it's funny when many times I'm in a Zoom call, and I can see that the little person has never been network marketing with the person that's introducing me in the Zoom. They say, okay, here's George, he's my upline. And then you can see the eyes saying, what is an upline? Because they don't know. I'm their downline. I say, what? Upline, downline sound like a military organization, or what the heck it is? Yeah, it's why you always say, this is my friend or my partner. We are working this together. Some terms, because many times when we talk to we are, excuse me, so much together, many times we assume that everybody knows everything, but most people don't have a clue. We have to make sure that we don't use those terms. And the same when we are saying, you are going to make a lot of money, let's do it, let's do this together. Because when you are saying you are going to make a lot of money, I don't know, you saw some of the movies, for example, Wall Street or The Wolf of Wall Street, when the guys are calling on the phone, you are going to make rich. You're going to become rich. You invest in this. Buy this stocks, this penny stocks. Da, 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 da. That's hype. But when you say, let's do this together, we're friends. Come on. Yeah, if you are a very good person with the word, probably you can convince people by saying that, but it's too salesy. You want the person to be part of something that all together are going to do it. That's important. It's very important. Excuse me, losing my voice. I don't know why. Any other comments?
Mr. Judge, I got a comment to share with you, my brother.
Hey, how are you?
Mr. Judge, I give God the glory as always. You just said something that really stood out for me, and that meant a lot. Christine emphasized on it, is the idea of we can make money. I want to take that sentence in context. You see, Master Judge, whenever you present these products or you present the concept of three to someone, most people easily think a pyramid. Some that have heard of it think that way. And that's the reason the pyramid thought comes to mind is if I'm saying you have this opportunity, you can do this, you can do that, that means, well, I got to do it myself. I'm not thinking you're selling me a structure. But if I say we can do it, the person is not thinking, wait, hold on. You mean I'm feeding into that scope? Yes, you do. And when you said it, it dawned on me, I inadvertently used this strategy without realizing it. 2 days ago, I was with one of our new BAs, and he was really curious as to the benefits of the product. He was just curious. He wanted something that would spur him to now talk to the first person. And I said, hold on. Let me connect Miss Shannon with us, one of our sisters in the project, so that you hear her testimony. Fortunately, Miss Shannon was very available at that moment. So she comes in and shares this life-transforming experience with him. And in doing so, she even shares the testimony of her husband with him. He was blown away so much such that when Miss Shannon was done talking, and by the time she left, he had a list of people in his mind that we started going back and forth on that he want to work with already. And I think the idea that let's do this, then let's go together is so powerful that we might lose the importance and the weight of team concept in building wealth. The truth is that you never build wealth all by yourself. It takes an effort. There are people within that structure that help you realize it. And when somebody realizes, and the truth about it, that when anyone that attends this program, which you do every day from 9:30 Central Time, you also realize in building up the building blocks of our cycling system, it only works from community or team effort. You don't cycle alone. So it is really the basis of the understanding that by team spirit, you grow. And the one last thing I say before I hang up, before somebody even dropped the concept of a pyramid, if you were sharing our cycle structure with him, remind him that his common hand is also fed by people that came before him that he doesn't even know. And when you understand that, that now gives you a whole different dynamic and allows you then to come in it with a level of understanding and appreciation for what it means or what it entails to work together with a group of people that share your goal in advancing a healthy world, a proactive health system, and most of all, that want to just improve their lot in life and leave something for their generation. So, Brother George, I thank you very much. I like the concept of what you are doing right now. How long do you want to keep doing it before things evolve? But I like more the other sentence you used before. The current job you are doing, what plan is in place for it to make you a millionaire? After he stares at you and realize the answer is nothing, then you got something to sell. On that note, I yield.
Thank you, Valentine. Great.
Very good, Valentine.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's why, by the way, that team is going crazy, bananas.
Yeah.
People like Valentine and Elizabeth, and of course, Shannon, that I know she's here. I mean, you have an amazing team. But anyway, yeah, what you said so true. And by the way, when you understand that, when you well, concept in your heart, you talk to more people. You talk to more people because we have a great tool. The products are not in trial. We are in the PDR. Sometimes we have a hard time thinking how important it is. We are in the PDR. I know there are a couple of people from competition that they are saying, hey, to get in the PDR, you had to buy your position there. You had to pay for it. Let me tell you one thing. There is an exclusive club that they are only leaders at a certain level. That, yeah, it costs, let's suppose, $50,000 to join. You find the money, but if you don't qualify, they don't accept you.
Mhm.
You have to go to certain qualifications. The same for a PDR, that's the case. If you don't have those certifications, there are companies that are older than us, that have millions upon millions of dollars more than us, and they can't get in there. And we are there. The products are not in trial. We had the studies, they are not in trial. We had the results, they are not in trial. Now let's build the business. Because we have a product that is so powerful that eventually it's going to be in every country that we can be. And that means that the more we are partnering with people that we want to be part of it. Remember what I say, friends don't want other friends to go broke or to go healthy or whatever you want to put it. Let's work together with all of them. You know how cool it is that in the future, you can be in Europe in a trip, you can be in Tahiti, you can be in the mountains, wherever you want, and you are with your friends. Not only the new friends that you are meeting here, because you're meeting people that are going to be friends for life here. But that's why it's so important that we share with everybody.